Yes, good morning. This is the first lecture on radar and TV engineering. So, in this subject, first we will discuss the radar. Today, I'll discuss the basic concept of radar, application of radar, and frequency with some multiple choice questions. So, radar is the basically application of the EM waves, microwaves, and antenna. Everyone knows that the full form of the radar. The main objective of this subject or the radar to learn the radar fundamentals like radar equation, operating frequencies, and applications. Second, to understand the basic concept of different types of the radars for surveillance and tracking. Third, to know the various types of the tracking techniques involved. And fourth objective is to understand the radar receivers, MTI filters, displays, and antennas. And next section shows that the textbook of radars, that is, first textbook is Introduction to the Radar System. Uh, Merrill Skonek, that is Tata McGrail Special Editions, and you can borrow from the library also, and it is available online. Reference books, Introduction to the Radar System. Second is Radar Principle Technology Applications. Third, Principle of the Modern Radar, Basic Principle, Mark A. Richard James, A. Shear, William A. Hole. Fourth, reference book, Radar Handbook by Skolnick, second edition, Tata McGraw-Hill. And fifth one is Understanding the Radar System by the Simon Kinsley, Sean by McGraw-Hill. These are the reference book and textbook. Now we have 5 outcomes after learning of subject radar or basic concept of radar. Demonstrate an understanding of the factors affecting the radar performance using radar range equation. Analyze the principle of the FMCW radar and apply it in FMCW altimeters. Differentiate between a MTI radars and a pulse Doppler radar on their working principle. Demonstrate an understanding of importance of matched filter receivers in radars. Familiarize with different type of the radar displays and their application in the real life scenario. In the basics of radars, we will learn about the introduction of radars, maximum unambiguous range, simple form of radar equation, radar block diagram and operation radars, frequency and applications, prediction of range performance, minimum detectable signal, receiver noise, modified radar range equations. So after able to learn this, you are calculate the range equations and you can find the operation of radars. In the next section, we have a key concept of radar and application of radars. As you all know that a radar is an acronym. It stands for radio detection and ranging. So, as the name suggests, that it is primarily a detection tool. And what is the source of detection mechanism? That is the radio waves. Radio waves is the basic source of detection mechanism. And these radio waves are on the frequency range 20 kilohertz above. 20 kilohertz to 20 megahertz are the radio waves, and above the range of this is also known as radio waves. So basically electromagnetic wave, so by that it detects. And also a very important function is it in can be determined range. So a radar won't be called a radar if it cannot measure the range. So a radar won't be called a radar if it cannot measure range. If it only detects, it would not be a radar. It is a complete microwave system. Basically, you can consider that it is an extension of our eye. Our eye actually gives us information about various things that is in the around of us, in front of us, etc. But radar can extend the capability of an human eye because it gives you more range. Actually, typically our eye can see up to, let us say, a bit less than 1 kilometer, not more than that. If you stand in a plain field where you have that horizon in front of you less than 1 kilometer, you can see by your eye. But in radar, actually that range get extended. You can go 500 kilometers, 1000 kilometers, even 5000 kilometer radars are available, etc. Also, with the satellite technology, from the very top of the earth, if you see from 36,000 kilometers, also you can see. So all these are extension of our eye in the range. Then our eye can see only if there is a light present. That means it is also electromagnetic radiations. But light is a particular type of electromagnetic radiation of particular frequency. So, but the problem is our eye cannot see where there is no light. Means our eye is able to see only the visible light. Our eye is able to see any object at a particular distance. At the far distance, we are not able to see by our eye. So the device which is used to detect any object in far distance is known as radar. In the daytime, there are a lot of sunlight, so we can see. But in the night time, if you do not switch on some other source of light, then you cannot see. But radar does not suffer from these. Radar also works on electromagnetic radiation, but since its frequency range is such that it can see in darkness also. Means radar is also work on electromagnetic radiations, but it's able to work in the darkness. So even if when normal light is uh, not there, the radar can see. So that is an important extension of the eye. Then it can see in haze, log, snow, rain. Normal eye cannot clearly see in all these impairments, but radar can see. But then, what is the drawback of the radar? Definitely, our eye has a very good resolutions. We can see each point separately. Radar cannot do that. Radar is much poorer to eye in the terms of resolutions. So this is the one drawback of radar. It is not able to resolute any object. Cannot separate the any point, any 2 points. So in this time, computer and radar they got merged. So in radar, computer things can, and with the help of that very good tracking started, we will see the monopulse concept. The monopulse is a very good tracking thing where very precisely you can detect the angular location of an object, and also along with the Cold War there was a in 60s there were also the lunar missions. So the lunar missions against required these trackings as well as very high power sources, etc. So the high power sources, large antennas, these all come into being. Now we will see that what are the major application of this radar technology. Now the applications of radar. Application wise, you see there are the first thing is ground based radar. So they are used for mainly these defense type of things, that detection and the location of aircraft and space target, also fire control. Fire means to have a countermeasure. That means when is enemy is coming, you try to fire upon him. So for that, these ground-based radar are used. Then ship-based radar. So they are used for detecting the naval objects, aircraft navigations, yet to locate the shoreline or buoys when you are voyaging, etc. So these are the ground type of radars and ship-based or airborne radars. Then there are air-based radar, that is the airborne radars, also called airborne radars. So the detection of the aircraft from the air, so that means you gain an advantage because more early you can detect an aircraft. The third one is known as airborne radars. First is our ground-based radar. Second is sea radar or ship-based radar, and third one is airborne radar. You can also detect the ships, land vehicles, navigations, then weapon control, then early warning radars, which are that means even from a 5,000 kilometer, if something is coming, some missiles is coming or some spacecraft is coming, it can detect it. Means if any object is coming from 5,000 kilometers or apart or beyond this limit, then this object is detected by radar. So this is we have discussed the application of radars with the different type of the radars, that is uh, ground-based radar, ship-based radar, airborne radars, and vehicle navigation type of radars. So these are the mainly all defense applications. But after the 80s, when this Cold War etc. ended, lot of radar people they started research on the civilian applications. So the civilian application, one of the civilian application, you always see that if you go to any airport, there is an airport traffic control where the something is moving. So always the aircrafts which are flowing for our now normal flight, etc. So they need a traffic control for there. It is called ATC, Air Traffic Control System, at the airport. Means this system will control the air traffic through the application of radar or through radars. So air traffic control in airports, then in bad weather you see still. But nowadays the aircrafts they get landed in the heavy rains, in very darkness in the night they fly. So all this is due to this radar. Then in if there is a bad weather, there is a storm, there is a hailstorm. In that also, so weather where radar can detect the weather, there is a dangerous storm. Then surveying over very large distance, that whether there is a something, some anything, some merge. Also, you see that in highways, if a vehicle speeds up, then the police radar they find out that your speed was more. So that is also a very good police application of radars. So in the ground system, the traffic is controlled by the police to watch the speed of the vehicle at the highway and in the urban areas and the rural areas. In scientific application, you see that precisely people are now sending the various spacecrafts etc. landing on the Mars, landing on Moon with very precise positions exactly in which crater they will land. So all this is because of space vehicle guidance, satellite guidance, then exploration of interplanetary space, extraterrestrial life, finding also in archaeology weather. there is a next site which I have archaeological importance. So for that town planning, then to see when in radio astronomy, radar astronomy. So what is the that how to find out the black hole detection of black hole in the radio stars, even detection, that is there any cancerous cell in the body, cancer detection, any part of the body you can detect the cancers, and black hole detection. So all possible cancers are not there because the organs are inside the body, but in the case of breast cancers it is useful, so that can be easily detected by this radar technology. Now it also has a lot of industrial application. Suppose in the railway, whether there is anything in front of you, so collision avoidance radar. In automobile industry, it is now self-driven cars, so they fully rely on radar to navigate. Then in industry, the cranes, heavy cranes, if they misses the positions, there will be a huge catastrophe. So control of cranes. Then industrial products, their profile measurement, then mining for mining exactly where to mine, for that also radar is used. Geological explorations, various geological layers, their characterizations, then in agriculture, how surface water, then locust warning. So these are the different application of radars. Now we have so lot of the application nowadays you see in drones, etc. A drone is generally used to locate the any object from the far distance, and it is a movable device, and it is used to uh, capture the picture of any location. So they also require always for their navigation, etc. radars. So it is an technology which is fully encompassing our daily lives. More and more days it will encompass everything. So it is a very good technology. I think will now unravel what is there inside the technology from the next class onwards. Now I am coming on the basic uh, of introduction to the radar frequency bands, and we will discuss the basic frequency of radars. Actually, radars can operate in the radio frequency bands. So there was actually, as the historical development pointed out, that it was invented due to the first defense applications. So initially there was some secrecy because it is very important to keep it secret from enemies. What is the band of the frequency in which the radar is operating? Because if it is known to the enemy, then enemy can fool the radars. That is why there were some secret nomenclatures. But after the World War IX in 1953, the scientific community, they actually tried to make this radar band nomenclature scientific. So that first we will discuss. First, we will see the basic nomenclature of different frequency band or nomenclature of electromagnetic spectrum or radio frequency spectrum. These are the frequency spectrum on the basis of the wavelength and the frequency. Frequency bands are divided into the audio frequency, video frequency, microwave range frequencies, broadcast band, and infrared band. And letters for designation of the microwave band is L band, S band, C band, X band, KU band, and Ka band. These are the different frequency bands. And VLF is stand for the very low frequency. LF is stand for the low frequency, medium frequency, MF, and HF is stand for the high frequencies. VHF is stand for very high frequency. UHF stand for ultra high frequency. SHF is stand for super high frequency. EHF stand for extreme high frequency. So radar frequency ranging is from the very high frequency to the extreme high frequency. That is from 1 meter to the around 1 centimeters. This is the wavelength range, and the frequency range of is for that radar frequency is 30 megahertz to the around 100 gigahertz. Now frequency band is divided in this graph or this figure, that is 30 hertz to 300 hertz, that is low frequency, and 300 hertz very low frequency, and 300 hertz to 3 kilohertz is known as low frequency, and 3 kilohertz to 30 kilohertz is known as very low frequencies. Then another band is 30 kilohertz to 300 kilohertz. Then next is 300 kilohertz to 3 megahertz, 3 megahertz to the 30 megahertz, and then 30 megahertz to 300 megahertz, 300 megahertz to 3 gigahertz, then 3 gigahertz to 30 gigahertz, and 30 gigahertz to the 300 gigahertz, and 300 gigahertz to the 3000 gigahertz. So this is the frequency band or spectrum. Next we have standard radar frequency letters and nomenclatures. This table shows that the standard frequency bands of specific designation of radar bands. High frequency band is up to 30 megahertz, 3 to 30 megahertz, and VHF is from 30 to 300 megahertz with the 138 to 144 megahertz for specific radar region applications, and UHF stands for ultra high frequency, that is 300 to 1000 megahertz, and corresponding radar bands is given with this band, and L band stand for 1000 to 2000 megahertz, and corresponding radar bands is given. S band is 2000 to 4000 megahertz, and for radar band is 2300 to 2500, 2700 to 3700. C band 4000 to 8000 megahertz, and X band 8000 to 12000 megahertz. KU band is 12 to 18 gigahertz. It is in the gigahertz range. K band 18 to 27 gigahertz. Ka band 27 to 40 gigahertz, and millimeter wave range is 40 to 300 gigahertz. So you see that actually the audio frequency, now what is the audio frequency? All electronics students know that audio frequency is, we can roughly say we know 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. But for radar, actually you see that the velocity of the light is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. So we will make, instead of the 2, everything in the terms of 3. So we can say audio frequency is 30 hertz to 30 kilohertz. So this is the audio frequency range. So this is not a radio frequency. And what is the video frequency? So we know that if you want to communicate a video signal, then roughly you can say that up to 30 megahertz you can go. Now actually the radar bands, they start just about this 30 kilohertz. So generally radars are a high power signal. So if they are co-located with other bands, then there will be a problem. Obviously, these audio frequencies, when communicated, they are communicated in some other frequency. Obviously, in this band, you will see that there are lot of interference possible, because each band were mainly communication. And initial days radar, they also were using those equipments. Later gradually they shifted to move higher frequencies, gigahertz frequencies. And defense never operated in these lower frequencies. So in the World War II, they operated in the communication frequencies, but gradually they, after World War II, they shifted to the real microwave frequencies. But while the nomenclature coming, these radar frequencies, they got divided into this, starting from very low frequency. Now very low frequencies, anything up to 30 kilohertz, then anything between 30 kilohertz to 300 kilohertz is called the low frequency. These are the bands. So I can say that these are the radar bands. Then medium frequency 300 kilohertz to 3000 kilohertz, or we can say 3 megahertz. Then the high frequency 3 megahertz to 30 megahertz. Very high frequency stand for we stand for very high frequency 30 megahertz to 300 megahertz. Then came ultra high frequency, so 300 megahertz to 3000 megahertz, which is called the 3 gigahertz. Then we have a super, this S stand for the super high frequency. So this is the 3 gigahertz to 30 gigahertz, and E is extremely high frequency. So that is 30 gigahertz to 300 gigahertz. So you see, it is always a change of decade. Now, accordingly, actually, these bands, they were, while giving the name, actually, these were the communication people's name. Radar people, scientifically, they try to give this name. So this was called band 4. So first VLF band was the band 4. How this number are coming? You see that the lower end and the lower end of the frequency band, write that as 3 into 10 to the power 10 n minus 1 in Hertz, and this upper end make it as 3 into 10 to the power n. So 30 kilohertz means 3 into 10 to the power 4. And what is why it is a band 4? So this n is giving you the band. So this is the watt 3 into 10 to the power 5 and is the band 5th. So this was the scientific community decided that if the someone says the 8 radar band 8, that will be 30 megahertz or 30 into 3 into 10 to the power 8, 30 megahertz to 300 megahertz. But unfortunately, this nomenclature was never become followed in the industry, and still the military bands which does not have any scientific basis they goes. So the radar people they give this names ultra high frequency is UHF, same from communication. But after that they give L. Actually, all these are arbitrary, but everyone in the radar field they understand the meaning of this band. So we should know them. That is why I am understanding introducing them. So these are the name of the band and the frequency wise. Ultra high frequency means 300 megahertz to 1 gigahertz. You see here that the scientific things is not followed. It should have been 3 gigahertz, but it is up to 1 gigahertz. Then L band, which is a very popular band in the satellite industry, it is 1 gigahertz to 2 gigahertz. S band, which is a very popular band in the various applications, sometimes satellite application, sometimes even defense application. It is 2 to 4 gigahertz, and C band is it is a very good band for the satellite people. So it is 4 gigahertz to 6 gigahertz. Then X band, actually all military radars were earlier in this band. It is from 8 gigahertz to, exactly speaking, it should have been 8.2 gigahertz, but we can loosely say 8 to 12.4 gigahertz. Then Ku band, you see that the K band will come later, but Ku comes earlier. So it is to 12.5 gigahertz to the 18 gigahertz. Then came K band to the 26.5 gigahertz. Then there is a Ka band. Actually, there is a very good for the propagations because this is an important band. Nowadays, even satellite people are also using this band heavily, and then comes the millimeter bands. So anything greater than 40 gigahertz, actually in the last 10 to 20 years, there is another band comes which is called the tetrahertz band. And now they're recording. Roughly, you can see that the millimeter wave is exactly roughly you can see that the millimeter wave is extending up to 300 gigahertz after anything loosely called terahertz. So the fallout of these is that suppose at 25 megahertz at